Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in for another weekly power rankings as we head into week 12 of this 2025 NFL season. And last week, we got some close games, had some blowouts, maybe an upset or two here and there. But nonetheless, these power rankings are going to change 1,000% this week. But before I get into these rankings, make sure you guys leave this video a like as it continues to help this channel to grow and it continues to beat the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys for 1 million views on this channel. I really love and appreciate you guys, the love and support that you guys have shown me. And a good way to get into another goal of mine is 6K subscribers by the end of 2025 is by making sure you click the subscribe button, notification bell, so you're not missing anything that I post. But without further ado, let's dive into it. All right, guys, here are my rankings from last week, and like I said, things will change. So let's get down right into it. All right, since we had two teams with bye weeks last week, the Colts had at S, and the Saints that had at D. Those are only two teams with bye weeks, and you guys know my motto: you don't play, you don't move. But let's get into these rankings this week. The New England Patriots and the New York Jets. I have the Patriots back still at the S tier, and the Jets still at that D tier. Travion Henderson from The Ohio State University. I am glad that they are unleashing him. This defense is playing phenomenal football. Drake May is playing at an MVP level with Diggs, with Butte. They have some really, and Douglas as well, they have really good weapons. And Mike Vrabel, I think, is a candidate from head coach of the year. And then the Jets, it's just this team is injury, players gone, inconsistent quarterback play. As much as I love Justin Fields, I did a video yesterday. This guy, I love Justin Fields, but he's just not it. He's just not it. And I think this team still got a lot of ways to go. But Aaron Glenn, you can start to see this team that don't fight, don't give up. It's just not very talented and doesn't have a quarterback. So, Jets or D. Next is the Washington Commanders versus the Miami Dolphins. I'm dropping the Commanders to a D, and meanwhile, I am keeping the Miami Dolphins at C. You know, and the Dolphins did their best chance to get this game away with red zone, non-conversions. Actually, both teams did, and just Mariota with the pick late. The Commanders, I did predict would be not this bad of a football team, but I knew it was going to be a fall off. The injuries have hurt, whether it's Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, Debo has been out at times, Marshawn Lattimore. This team has been decimated with injuries. And then look at the Dolphins side. They played better the last two out of the last 3 weeks. But it's just, this Dolphins team, they inconsistent offensively. Defensively, they did play a much better game. It's just, I like the fact that the Dolphins came out and won this ball game, keep themselves somewhat in it, even though they're not really in it for me. But I still crazy believe Mike McDaniel has a job after all this. Next, we're going to have the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. I want to drop the Falcons to D so bad, but I don't think they're one of the worst teams in the league, so I'm going to keep them at C. And the Carolina Panthers, I am moving them up to B. It's crazy that the Panthers are 6-5 right now. Bryce Young, if Bryce Young plays against the Atlanta Falcons the rest of the way, he's probably going to be a Hall of Famer because he plays extremely well against the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons, injuries, whether it's Drake London, Michael Penix Jr., this is one of the more inconsistent teams I've ever seen. They don't have an identity. Defensively, they've been so spotty. Offensively, they've been inconsistent. And this team is a very talented Falcons football team. Very talented Falcons football team. It's just extremely inconsistent. The Panthers are kind of inconsistent too, if we're going to be honest. But the way they play, the way they fought, Rico Dowdle has been a huge find for them. Defensively, I like this Panthers team. I really do. I really do. Starting to play well football. Next is the Buffalo Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I am dropping the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to an A. And the Buffalo Bills, I don't see enough. Even though Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield have very good football games, the Buccaneers are hampered by injuries, whether we're talking about Mike Evans being out, Bucky Irvin missing most of the season. They're talking about Buffalo, they still can't stop the damn run. And that worries me down the stretch. They still cannot stop the run. In the Buffalo Bills case, and you guys know I'm a big Josh Allen guy, they need Josh Allen to play hero ball in order for them to even win football games. Because when he does it, or not hero ball, they need him to play phenomenal to win football games. Because when he has just a good game, they lose. They lack a number one wide receiver. They lack a run defense. Ed Oliver being out doesn't help that either. And this team still leaves me worries. This was supposed to be a Bills year. I'm still worried about the Bills team. And like I said, Tampa, they just have a lot of injuries. Guys are hurt. They still were in this game for most portions of it, but the injuries are starting to show up. Next is Jacksonville Jaguars and the Los Angeles Chargers. I am moving the Jacksonville Jaguars to B. And I still think they peaked. It could have been they peaked at that game, but they look dominant against the Chargers team, who I'm going to move down to a B. The injuries are starting, just like the Buccaneers, the Chargers' injuries are starting to show up. They are also a team that can't run the football very well. A team that is older, a bit older to me on the defensive side of the ball. Their offensive line can't protect it because of the injuries to Slater and all. And then when we're talking about the Jaguars, they ran the ball well with Travis Etienne. I'm still not the biggest on Trevor Lawrence. He had a good game against this Chargers team, but I'm just still not big on him. Their defense played phenomenal this past week, but I'm just not a big fan. I'm just not sold on Trevor Lawrence yet. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but it's just something about him is missing. But yet, we're going to my Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings. I'm keeping the Bears at A. First place Bears. Yes, I'm going to brag on that. First place Bears. And the Minnesota Vikings, you know what? Yeah, I'm below average on this football team. I talk a lot about the Bears because, that's my team, guys. But they find ways to win games. Even when they were slipping away late, they find ways to win. One way, they've been dominating the line of scrimmage as far as running the football. They ran the football phenomenally these past 6 or 7 weeks. And that is the identity of this football team. They don't quit. They create turnovers. And Caleb Williams has looked better and better if you don't look at the stat sheet. And Minnesota, I was one that said their defense is a little bit older and it's starting to show. They don't make it necessarily the greatest plays. You can run the football on them. They did get a little bit of pressure up to Caleb, but offensively, J.J. McCarthy, God, he has been inaccurate. And I'll talk about sometimes Caleb's inaccuracies. J.J. McCarthy missing throws by yards. And honestly, I think if they have a little bit better of a quarterback play, they may have pulled this game out. So I am pulling the Vikings to a C. Next is the Green Bay Packers and the New York Giants. I'm keeping the New York Giants at D. The Green Bay Packers, I'm keeping them at B. I don't think they were impressive enough. Jordan Love did play a lot better, even though he had a spurt when he was hurt. Running football has been, I don't know, for this Packers team, especially against the Giants. And when we're talking about this Packers defense, it's keeping them. I like what their defense is, despite the fact that it is Green Bay Packers. Defense has been pretty much carrying, I'm not going to say carrying, they've been in their identity for most of the season. And then we're talking about the Giants. Jameis Winston plays solidly. It's just this Giants team. It's kind of like the Bucs. It's kind of like the Chargers. They have a ton of injuries. Defensive side of the ball, they played a little bit better, but not much. But offensively, I think if they had better, I think the weapons were a little bit better, they may have pulled this game out of Green Bay. That's just me. Next is the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm keeping the Steelers at B. And I'm keeping the Bengals at D. The Bengals defense is still horrendous. Even with Mason Rudolph, they were still able to make plays. Aaron Rodgers' injury, we're going to have to wait and see about that. Then we're talking about the Bengals. Jamar Chase suspended for the spit incident, which is stupid. And then we're talking about their offense was a bit inconsistent. Like I said, their defense is bad. I don't think Joe Burrow should come back for this team. I know he's a competitor. I know he wants to come back. And similar to Jaden Daniels with the Commanders, Neither one of those guys I think should come back. Because if you're not playing for nothing, just keep them out. And this offensive line is going to get Joe Burrow hurt again. So keep them out. Yo, what's up, guys? APW Sports here, and today's video is being brought to you by ExpressVPN. Now, there's a few things I really like about having ExpressVPN. One, I feel protected. Being on the internet a lot as a content creator, or being on the internet, period, especially in the 2025 modern era, you're going to need protections from hackers. You're going to need protections from your passwords. You're going to need protections from your vital credit card, vital personal information. ExpressVPN does an excellent job of protecting you. And also, if things happen to slip or if things have been exposed before, you will get alerts to your phone that will let you know that things have been exposed to the dark web and that you should take action. And then another thing that I really like about it is that you can unlock more of Netflix. Now, me personally, if you guys don't know, I am a big WWE fan. And since the WWE has a partnership with Netflix in the international areas, you can get your PLEs, you can get your Raw, SmackDown, NXT, all things WWE on Netflix. Best thing to do, switch your location to say a Canada, to say a United Kingdom, and bam, there you go. You have all your access to your WWE content, and it unlocks more things that necessarily United States does not carry. And that is another thing that I really love about ExpressVPN. So to get yours today and get 3 months free, click the link below and use code APW Sports at checkout to get 3 months free of ExpressVPN. You will not regret that at all. Best investment you will ever make. Protect yourself and unlock more television on Netflix to watch. Now, we're gonna get back to this video. Next is the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. This game was kind of boring, I'm not gonna lie. I went back and watched this. Cam Ward, I mean, God, he needs help. Whether it's coaching, whether it's weapons, he needs help. That Titans defense, I give them credit, they play some really solid football. They need a lot of help on that offensive side of the ball to help Cam Ward. And then in the Texans, yeah, Davis Mills got them to win in the last 2 weeks, but their defense, phenomenal. I really love the Houston Texans defense. Offensively, they still can't protect very well, 1. 2, they don't run the football very well. And this game was a hard watch, I'm not gonna lie. Hard watch. Next, San Francisco 49ers versus the Arizona Cardinals. I'm moving the San Francisco 49ers up to an A. I had them at B. And the Arizona Cardinals, I'm sorry, I'm dropping this football team. I am dropping this football team. The last 2 weeks, they have just been obliterated. Offensively, yeah, Jacoby Brissett broke the record for most completions, but it doesn't help when your defense can't stop a nosebleed. It doesn't help when you're turning the football over. It doesn't help when you're having penalties. It just doesn't. It really doesn't. And the 49ers, God, with all the injuries, they just find ways to win games. I think this might be the most impressive coaching job by Kyle Shanahan during his time with the Niners. With all the injuries, he still has this team sitting at 7-4. With all the injuries they dealt with, they are 7-4. What a great coaching job by him. Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator, back. I think this has been a phenomenal coaching job by Kyle Shanahan. Next is Seattle Seahawks and LA Rams. I'm not gonna, believe it or not, I'm still have Seahawks at A, but I'm making a change. I'm putting the Rams there. I know people have been saying I'm kind of blasphemous for not having the Rams up. Damn, they've been playing some good football. And then Sam Darnold with the 4 interceptions. I think this was a game where we're going to see where Sam Darnold is. Can he step up in those big game moments? And even with the 4 interceptions, this Seattle Seahawks team was a missed field goal away from still winning this game. So I'm not going to say, yeah, they could have made some plays. Yes, Sam Darnold couldn't hold on to the ball. The Rams made some mistakes too. That was a very good game. And the Rams just made a few more plays. And I still believe in the Seahawks defensively. I'm not bashing Sam Darnold much, but it is kind of prevalent. During his last 3 bigger games, he has not played well. The 4 interceptions, and they were still in it, I give the Seahawks credit for that. I'll give their defense a lot of credit. And the Rams are playing some explosive offense with some phenomenal defense, turning the football over, making takeaways. Offensively, they've been pushing the ball. Kyron Williams has been really good in the running game. And then the connection with Nakua and Adams has been phenomenal. Could these be the best team in the league? Possibly. Next, we're going to have the Baltimore Ravens and Cleveland Browns. I had the Ravens at A. I'm still going to keep them there. The Browns are D. Still going to keep them there. This is a very closely contested ball game. The Ravens made too many mistakes. Offensive line still a suspect with giving up a bunch of sacks. 4 sacks to Myles Garrett alone. And the Browns, they had done their quarterback position an injustice by not having Shedeur Sanders ready just in case something happens to Dillon Gabriel. In which that something happened to Dillon Gabriel. This Browns defense has been carrying this football team. They have nothing much from the quarterback position. And I've kind of blamed Kevin Stefanski of not having Shedeur ready. Even though he's your backup, you don't have a veteran guy in there to kind of be the wheel, kind of be the mindset of them. It's just, they're doing a disservice organizationally to their quarterback position. And it sucks that they have Deshaun Watson still paying all that money that he ain't even played in damn near 2 years. Next, we're going to have the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. I am dropping the Chiefs to a B. One, this is probably the lowest I've ever had the Chiefs in rankings. They can't run a football. Offensive line is still not great. Defensively, they are not getting the same type of production in some of those big plays that they used to get from Chris Jones and Carl Loftus. The secondary has been solid, but they're not getting much from their front seven. Their offense has been inconsistent. Defense, and then we're talking about the Broncos. I'm moving the Broncos, and I'm keeping the Broncos at S. They can make turnovers. They're getting pressure on Mahomes. Bo Nix, while this offense does still have tendencies to be slow, they made enough plays to win this ball game. Bo Nix made some critical throws down the stretch late to win this ball game. And to think they're on an 8-game win streak, a lot of people was like, okay, this could be a test. Can they beat the Chiefs at home? Can they beat them? They did so. And this defense is still one of the best defenses that we have in the league. So I'm going to keep the Broncos at S. Then we're going to have the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions. I'm keeping the Eagles at S. And the Lions, I still believe in this football team. This is a very close ball game. The problem I have with the Lions offensively is just they are at times a little bit inconsistently, and it seems like things were a bit off this past Sunday against Philly, even though Philly has one of the better defenses, and I think they're getting better with guys getting healthy and adding Jaylon Phillips. Offensively for the Eagles, they found ways to win ball games completely, but it's just they can't run the football well, and then Lane Johnson being out hurts even more. The passing game has struggled, and their defense has kind of been carrying them. I get AJ Brown's comments. The offenses have not been living up. And the Lions defense, with all their injuries, they're still playing good football. It's just something about that offense was a little bit off. The rhythm and the timing of things just seemed off against Philly. But I give Philly some credit for making that work. Then we're going to have the Cowboys and I'm still keeping the Cowboys at C because you're playing the Raiders, who are one of the worst teams in football, one of the worst offenses in football. Their defense is being carried by Max Crosby, who had a strip sack and played good. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens being back helps them tremendously. Quentin Williams being on that defensive side of the ball is a big deal. But when you're playing the Raiders, one of the worst teams looking wise in football, I don't give the Cowboys but only so much credit. They handled their business, yes. Offense looked phenomenal. The Raiders' defense isn't good, but I call a spade a spade. I can't move them up after a game against the damn Raiders. But those are my rankings for the week. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. The goal is 6K subscribers before the end of 2020. Love, thank you, and appreciate you guys. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.